allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Time 6:07, July 17, 2025, St. Mary's Board of Aldermen meeting. Roll call. Alderman Dr. Ethan Duda.
Present.
Alderman Bergman.
Here.
Alderman Rosenwade.
Here.
Alright. Quorum present. Approval agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Alright.
Second that motion.
Motion made, second by Alderman Rosenwade. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright. Management. Alright, thanks, Doc.
I'm not opposed. That's an aye.
Minutes from the previous meeting. So we got a sponsorship on the minutes of the previous reading. A motion.
Go ahead. I make a motion that we approve the minutes as printed.
Okay. Alright. Anybody have a second? Or actually, I'd like to do an amendment real quick to minutes we had way back when. So when we had the fire district here, I want to right here the minutes to reflect that rent was paid. I think they forgot after 24 years that this lease agreement was made and signed, and the city was paying a total of $7,640 and $623 to the debt reserve. So the monthly lease to the fire department was $627, since we're doing the fire department thing tonight. So, but there was no extensions after that, but I just wanted to clarify that because we were told differently, so I wanted the minutes to reflect that there wasn't a lease agreement with the city and rent and lease. Does anybody have any opposition to that amendment? Alright. Do we still have a motion to pass and approve the amended?
Yes, still.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I bet he's played. Oh, there he is. How does this say?
Hey Doc, do you oppose or do you know?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just screen with my monitor,
Okay.
my computer, my laptop.
Oh, okay.
Turn the board this way, so this is
Did you hear anything I said?
$7,000.
Okay, so
So
you heard it. Alright, so we have a motion and a second, and I need to know your vote. And do we have Kathy and Alderman Rosenwade already voted? But are you A or nay? Or you want to know what it is for?
Could you repeat it, please?
Yes. I wanted to add to the amendments for when the fire department district was here, and with the Chamber of Commerce, because we were told that the city of St. Mary's did not pay any lease or any money of rental of any sort. But since we're doing the fire department stuff that we have, and like I said, it was signed a lease agreement. The city did pay $7,640 a month, or a year, excuse me, and it'd be $627 for the lease agreement. So that was doing it. So I guess after 20 years, the chamber must have forgot that they wrote this up, and the banking resolutions with it as well. So if you have any objections to that, I just wanted the record to be corrected.
I agree with the correction.
Alright, motion passed. Treasurer's report, collector's report, and bills for payment. We have a motion to approve them.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second it.
Motion made, seconded by Alderman Bergman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. Public forum, do you want to do first aid?
Yeah.
Do they, go ahead, let them do their
Yeah, yeah.
presentation? Okay. Cool.
So tonight we have First State Community Bank here. We have Morgan and Desi, and they are going to talk to us about bringing our checkbook up to date into the 20th century and potentially making our lives a little bit easier, writing less checks, direct deposit for employees, combining some accounts so we don't have 14. So I'll let them tell you.
Yeah, so my name's Morgan Walsh. Thank you guys for having us out. This is Desi. I work in the business services team that's based out of Farmington, so we're kind of in different roles, but work together to help serve our business
I'm
customers.
sorry, Morgan. There's a packet in your papers that she, everybody, perfect.
So what my team does specifically is we work with our current business customers as well as prospective. So for prospects, obviously bringing them to the bank, but for our existing customers, something we love to do is relationship reviews, which is what we do with Jessica. So we take data from the last 12 months of transactions, and we kind of just look at comparing to what you guys are doing, what other cities are doing, different areas where we might see we can improve in efficiency, and get you guys paid faster, and to protect those payments. So that's what we met with Jessica about, and that's what we're going to be presenting on a little bit.
I'm Desi Serini. I'm the branch manager at the Perryville location. So I kind of bring the stuff to Morgan. She helps me with our business customers. And then we meet with you guys. And if you have questions about your checking account or if there's something that you need help with, I would be your first point of contact.
So our relationship review, we did covered all of the accounts, but we spared you all of that data and condensed it pretty well, so you didn't have to look through all those slides. So basically on that first page, what you're going to see is just an overall summary of what you guys have going on right now. It's going to show your checking accounts, the money market accounts, and the CDs that you have with us currently. Below that, you're going to see digital banking. That's the two users you all have that have access to those accounts. That would be Adam and Jessica. And then below is just some updates and general things that we discussed. On the next page, you're going to see that broke down in better detail. You're going to have balances and different numbers of transactions. So this is what we really wanted to outline, is these transaction amounts here. So what you'll see is a high level, you do have a lot of ACH debits, but more than that, you had 567 checks written in the last 12 months. So the problem we see with that, it's not necessarily a terrible thing, but as we know, mail is slow. So mail is slower, you're seeing those payments go out, and then it's kind of hit or miss when they're going to be cash. And you're also at risk because when those checks are going out, there's so many chances for someone to steal those, for someone to get your routing and account number, and to run off. And as we know, check washing is pretty intense right now. So one big thing that we noted with the checks, not only for payroll, but just bills in general, one thing that we think would be very beneficial for you guys is ACH origination. What that would do is allow you, it's just basically direct deposit. So instead of sending a physical check out in the mail, you're in charge of when those payments go out, and you're not having to hand out your information to other people. So just a note that we saw that a lot of people are moving towards. Another big one that we noticed was the credit cards, something that we talked through. We have a credit card program at First State that offers a rebate option. So in addition to that ACH option, if you were to switch some of those things to pay via credit card, not only would you still be in control of the payments, but you'd also be getting a rebate or kickback from them. So the more spend we can move, we kind of discussed this, as long as the fee being charged for credit cards doesn't outweigh the rebate, it's a good move, and we're happy to sit down and say, okay, this one's charging 3% for cards, probably not best that we use a card on this one. We can sit down and go through all of those vendors with you and decide what is beneficial and what isn't. That way you're getting the most out of your money, and we've seen a lot of people use it for Christmas parties, employee benefits, bonuses, that kind of thing. So just looking to make you some more money on all the money that you're spending.
Save us on late payments too.
Yes.
Because with the mail, specifically our T-Mobile bill, it didn't come till 2 days before it was due. So it's late, and luckily their late charge isn't significant, but some folks, their late charges are $30+. So
that's just a lot of money.
it's, yeah.
These in-person deposits, sorry, I don't know if we're gonna get to that or not. So is that actually going inside the bank?
Yeah, so those are actual trips to the bank where you're running deposits, and there's 119 of those in the past 12 months. Which we know is not completely avoidable. You're gonna have cash deposits, and there's really no way of getting around that yet. I'm sure something's coming, but not yet. But as far as checks, we do, I think we briefly discussed that. We do have a check scanner that we can put in office for those situations, so you can run your checks in same day and those processed 5 o'clock after hours processing. So that is an option.
Okay.
I know ACH and credit cards were the biggest treasury items that we were looking to hit on, but that's definitely an option we can research for you guys.
So I'm guessing that when we had this 12 months, so we had a former clerk that went in and did deposits, so 119 of them were trips inside. Or can we do it by window, or like you said?
You mean with the scanner?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead,
The previous clerk would hold on to checks for a while before they're deposited just because of convenience, I guess. But I know, with my mobile banking, anytime I get a check, I can immediately deposit it into my checking account. So is that possible for the city, where you don't have to do the night deposits, you just do it mobilely and get a photo image of the check front back and enter a deposit and it's a done deal?
So we do have a mobile deposit option. We've noticed that the scanners typically work a little bit better for the business customers, but we do have a mobile deposit option where you can take the photo.
I feel like that would be, the scanner would be more appropriate, just because we have
insufficient funds.
Well-
Would do that.
multiple accounts. So you're not just depositing, and we're gonna talk about that too,
Yeah.
in one account. So I would have to, for general water and sewer, do that each time. Particularly water and sewer would be very difficult. Just the number of checks that we get.
Okay.
So this would save on labor instead of having to do 119 trips to the bank.
And your turnaround on the money would be faster, especially if you're used to holding onto those items.
I don't hold on.
No, the previous, yeah.
So you use the night drop.
I use the night drop, but I also am not comfortable with any large sums of money sitting here.
Yeah.
So I try to once a week get money out of here.
So is there a cost for us to do that with the scanner?
There is a cost for the scanner depending on which one that you get. I think it's typically around $300 to purchase a scanner, but that's something that we can discuss if you guys decided to go that route.
And when you say purchase, does that mean, what does that mean as far as, we purchase it, but what are the other aspects of it?
So the process for that, if you decide to go that route, is we would order the scanner for you, but it would be yours, you don't lease it, so you never have to give it back. So what would happen is we would have it shipped to one of our branches, either Desi's or mine. We would actually bring it out for you, and there's a year warranty on that scanner, so in that year, if anything happens to it, you get a brand new scanner. Basically, no questions asked unless you return it, destroy it on fire or something. And so we'll come out, we'll do a whole demo with you, make sure you're comfortable using it, the deposit goes well, and then we leave it with you. If you guys have any questions, you're always welcome to reach out to us, but the scanner's yours to keep.
So it's tech support, or so what you
Yeah.
mentioned?
Is that internet-based then? This check scanner?
No, you just plug that into a power source and then USB into your computer.
Oh, okay.
So what about after the year, the warranty's up? What would happen after that if something went wrong?
If something happened to the scanner after that and it wasn't something that could be fixed, then you'd have to purchase a new scanner.
So there is like a little bit of tech support that she could call in and say, hey, it's
Yeah.
doing this. Okay, great.
So I'm in business services, but we also have a full support team that also works out of Farmington, so you guys will always have their phone number. They'll be there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 for any support needs that you have.
Is there any regulatory fees or anything when we use that, like per check, or like a fee, 30 cents per deposit, like that?
There's
Business,
no,
like that?
no per item charges for that, but there is a monthly fee, which again, that's a branch level decision, so we could always.
Talk about that as well, okay.
Did you guys have any more questions about credit cards or ACH or any of that?
Do we talk about the fleet cards for the vehicle?
Fleet cards.
Yes, thank you. So in addition to that credit card program, we also have fleet cards. So both of them work together for the rebates. They're not separate totals, so whatever you spend on both goes together in a lump sum to get that rebate. However, the fleet cards are specifically designed for your drivers. So that's fuel and maintenance or fuel only, so whichever one you decide. And those can be restricted based off driver pins. You can enter odometer limits. You can put in the days that are allowed to be used and the hours that are allowed to be used. So they're pretty locked down, that way they can't.
They can
be used
even
for anything
restrict
else.
whether they pay at the pump or go in.
Yes.
So they can, I mean, they can be
Sure.
very restricted, so we're not buying hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yeah.
And if someone needs to up their limit, say they've already used their limit, Jessica could go in and up their limit so they can continue using the card.
Yeah, and that's a real-time change, so you won't have anybody just sitting at the pump for 30 minutes trying to access their card. You'll have somebody in-house that can change it when they need, sitting on that 800 number or anything like that. You'll have someone here to do that.
Too.
So rebate. And is there a charge for so many, or anything like that for the card?
No, the only charges that you would incur is if you didn't pay off the statement balance for the month, then you would have the interest charges. But as long as you pay that off before the statement ends, then you're good. No
And this is
charges.
good out of state, anywhere? Okay. So I was just wondering, because some locations are, restricted.
Locked,
Like,
yeah.
you go to Chester, and it's like, no, they don't accept that there,
Yeah, no, and unless there's something suspicious on the activity that we see, then no.
Okay.
And this is a First State Community Bank credit card,
Yes.
not like what we have now.
No, this is
Which
a first state card. It's all decisioned and housed in our company.
That was the interest rate on that one's horrendous.
Well, the reason I say that is because we have a First State Community Bank credit card, but in name only. Is that right? It's through UMB Bank. I don't even know how that even works. But it's a First State Community Credit Card through UMB. It's weird, and they're hard to deal with.
Yeah, that's definitely not the situation this time. No, around this is housed in, like, we own this credit card program, so you'll call us for any support. All limit decisions are made in-house. The dentist at Perryville that makes that decision. So everything's handled internally. And then the platform I was talking about where you can change limits and things, it's called Easy Business. So you could both be admins, you guys decide who the admins are. You'll be able to log in and see a detailed bill description of everyone's cards, what they've spent, their totals, their limits, and that's where you'll be able to change those at any time.
And make your payments.
And
Nobody wants to pay that.
You have to send the check.
I don't have to send, I have to send you a check. Okay. One check is better than nothing.
no checks, you can
No check, you pay straight from there.
Oh, I can just transfer a few
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Oh, look at me.
Something like that.
That's it.
Did you guys have any more questions on those items?
No?
I did have a question as far as what you were talking about, letting Jess make payments. Let me get this right. Like on our bills and things. Now, does she have to notify the bank as every time that she needs to make a payment and say, okay, you guys pay that bill for me? Or is it just something that automatically we set up and then this time of the month, every month, that, you know, that it automatically goes out? How does that work?
So are you referencing making bill payments with
Yes.
a credit card?
No,
Or making the credit card payments?
So what we would do is, like I paid bills the other day, we got Gateway FS, Citizens Electric doesn't take credit cards. So you pay the credit card bill, you pay T-Mobile, and you would pay those bills with the credit card.
Okay.
And then we would get, once a month, get a statement from the bank, and I would pay them
Okay.
for that.
And our cash back in points.
Yeah, and then we get cash back in points. And what we did when we started all of this, Desi and Morgan asked me for some of our bigger bills that we pay regularly, and I sent them, because they have to determine a credit limit, because we don't want an excessive credit. We don't want a $50,000 credit, we don't want to be crazy. We want to stay within our means, but still be able to pay our bills. Pay our bills and eliminate the Walmart card, the other credit card, you know, those, and also eliminate AutoZone, O'Reilly's, John Deere, Buckeye, all of these places, we would be eliminating charge accounts with these people. And hopefully, the idea behind it is the only people that we would owe money is the bank. We don't owe everybody in 2 counties money.
And then all your billing happens.
Well, you all either way.
Yeah.
Right, you owe it either way, but you're.
Not
you're-
You're paying the bank, and the bank's already paid the vendor,
Right.
if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
And then you're earning those rebates, which if I'm understanding correct, none of yours do that currently, right?
No.
Okay.
Is there a service charge associated with that?
Only if the statement balance isn't paid off before the cycle ends.
You have to pay interest.
Then you pay the interest, yeah, but no technical service fees.
No annual
Just
fee.
like, no annual fee.
Nothing like that.
And then that rebate check is paid out once a year, so you can decide, we have a lot of people that do it in December for Christmas parties, bonuses, but we also have people who do it in the summer for the teachers, so you guys get to decide that, that's the fun part. Yay.
Well, and another part of this is these checks that we order are expensive. And I hate to tell on myself, but I came into a situation that I had ordered checks that I thought that we needed. And then I went in there and was cleaning, and they were buried on the floor underneath things. So I personally wasted that money because they were not put away properly. But they're very expensive is my point, and not refundable because I tried.
Right.
Doc, you have some?
Absolutely.
Well, that's a housekeeping issue.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know where the checks are, if they're hidden beneath something, and they aren't living where they belong, so. And, it looks like Jess has done her due diligence on putting order back in. Which is immediately noticeable, because now there are boxes all over the front office with stuff, irregularly arranged, you know, box with that box, so that seems like it's been handled already, so that's great.
Yes.
Anything else on any of those items?
No?
I do have one question on this. So when you guys do this, say like, cause I'm one of the, like, workers down here, so is he. So the thing about it is say, cause I'm over water and sewer, and if we have a call in the middle of the night or something saying water main breaks or something, we need parts, which we have emergency service to get us parts at certain locations.
Yeah.
If we have to, say, run up there to get it, or we pay for it right there to purchase it, some of these items are like $500–600 a piece. Anyway, so I know she can do the spending limit,
Yeah.
but I don't think she'd like.
The spending limit, Frankie, is just on the fleet cards.
That's on.
And those are gas only.
Oh, so they're.
The other one, there's two. Yeah,
There's
one
gonna
for
be two
vehicle,
different credit
One for
cards.
vehicles, one for.
Kind of like
Yeah.
the fire, you know.
Okay, I didn't know,
Yeah.
I thought it was one card and did it all.
No.
That's a good question. There will be spending limits on both, but you all decide those. We decide the overall limit, you all get to decide who gets what limit.
Yeah, so the fuel cards will be completely separate
Okay.
from the purchasing.
Okay. And then the other
What about purchase orders? Because, all purchases should be
For the PO.
associated with the purchase order, which is then approved to make a purchase. So, if it's 10 o'clock at night and you need a part, that one I don't understand, because where are you gonna get a part at 10 o'clock at night anyway? But the following morning or whatever, when you would normally get a part, then a purchase order needs to be submitted, because in some cases, we were paying more than we should have, because Adam would find alternate sources for components that were cheaper than what less expensive than what we had been paying before. So that needs to be factored in with this stuff too.
So I think that, like AutoZone, O'Reilly's, you can get a purchase order from them, continue to get purchase orders. However, when I pay with the credit card. We don't have to close our accounts. I wish we could, but we don't have to. I'm always saying, stop spending money, Adam, stop spending money. But we don't have to close those accounts, so that you can make those purchases off hours, and I still get, because for the state, you have to provide the check and the invoice with the PO. So you need a lot of papers, but less to pay for.
Well, the other question is like corn main, L&J supplies, like then how we still gonna be able to get, like the waterworks companies,
Yeah.
like how we gonna be able to do that, like say we gotta order a part or whatever.
Well, some of those companies may or may not, but like Corn Main, Corn Main, Flowmaster, we're not gonna be able to charge those. Our credit limit isn't going to be enough to charge $10,000 worth of.
So what I'm saying, say,
We'll keep those accounts.
I know, but what I was trying to say is like on that, like gym or whatever, nighttime or whatever, we have a situation happen. We call his emergency number to get his parts.
Yeah.
That's still invoiced out to the company and then they send you that invoice?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
yes,
It had the courier service or whatever.
yeah.
No, that's a Corn Main
Oh,
emergency
okay.
service calls. So-
Yeah, so
They would
that's-
still be sending me invoices.
It'd be the
yes.
same
You
process,
could pay it.
Yes.
Okay.
and then we just pay it in our
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out like,
They just would have GO, emergency work order, or whatever, water main break.
And I think what it does is, makes my job easier. You're going to continue to do things the way that you do them and bring me my receipts. I'm just going to be paying the bills differently to eliminate bills going out in the mail, checks getting lost in the mail. We have a duplicate payment from the middle of June. I still don't have it back. So that's a mail thing, and so I do think it would be better if we weren't sending things through the mail.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, credit card is not the only option. If we sit down and say, okay, this company's gonna charge you 3.5%, let's not use the card on this one, but we're setting up ACH for direct deposit, so let's go ahead and pay that vendor via ACH as well. And then that way you're still in control when that goes out, you don't have to do that. So we definitely don't want you using it when it's not beneficial to you, so we're happy to work through that with you as well. When you're happy, we're happy.
I'm never happy.
We gotta change that.
What you gotta do?
Currently, the city has 17 accounts 5 of those accounts are money market, and then 12 are checking accounts. I know that you have some reserve accounts you have to keep, and that those can't be touched. We did talk about consolidating some accounts, so it would be a little bit easier for you to manage. We talked about water, sewer in general becoming one account, so on that part, it's pretty simple. You're gonna tell us which 2 accounts you wanna close, we'll move that money into one, and then have checks for 10 years if you need them on that. And then as you pay bills in your QuickBooks, that's where you'll kind of separate water,
Right,
sewer, general.
exactly. And even if they're all in one QuickBooks account, you can come in here and say, Jessica, I want to know how much money's in the water account, and I can run that report. How are we spending the sewer money? I can run that report. It all is in one place. However, it still has to be broke down between general, fire, police, payroll, and all that does is add water and sewer to that. Because all of these places still have their own money, it just comes out of one place, which is less checks, again.
And then you're eliminating a step where you would do it in QuickBooks, but then you also have to go to the bank and write another check to move that money or
So,
vice versa.
and that's what I have to do, if you're working in water, sewer in general, you have to move from account to account, which means log out, log back in, to go to the other account, to log back in, so it's kind of a process. And then you do it all in QuickBooks, and then you gotta go to the bank and remember everything you did in those 3 accounts and do it at the bank too. So, and the treasurer was here today, and everybody makes mistakes, and I don't get upset, but there are things where I did it in QuickBooks, but I didn't do it at the bank, or I did it at the bank and I didn't do it at QuickBooks. Not saying that it will eliminate mistakes, because it will not. However, there will be less movement,
One thing to highlight on that too is if you want to move forward with the remote deposit scanner, the check scanner, there's an option in there that we can set up for you to create locations. So even though they're in the same account, you can distinguish water, sewer, and general checks in there. You can pull reports in there as well.
And you don't have to leave.
And you don't go. As much as I'd love to see you here.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Any questions on that? That's really the most simple part out of all of it.
She's smiling, we're smiling.
That was the goal of the whole meeting for us.
So we talk about direct deposit for employees.
Yes,
That's the one.
that ACH origination.
Okay.
Yeah, so what that is the direct deposit, so you can use that for paying vendors or paying your employees. So as long as that file is submitted to FSCV before 4 PM, your employees see that in their checking accounts first thing in the morning.
And we would help you set up a
Oh,
file.
thank you.
Yeah, we would help you set up a file and you would be able to go in and if they're hourly, you could put in their hours and then change the dollar amount.
Okay.
So what we pretty much do is just create that template, and then every pay period you go in, just change the amount that you pull from QuickBooks for their checks. Instead of writing checks, it's just an automatic deposit into the account.
You guys got any other questions or comments, concerns? I think it's logistically more lean. It'd be the same mechanics on the outside aspects, but internally, I see it saving money and be more lean than having to do 3 things 3 times here and 3 times at the bank. I mean, it's just,
Is it easier for CPAs to track this stuff when they're dealing with it for budgets, et cetera?
Yeah, I would say so, just because there's so much of it that's going to be automated at this point, and it's not going to be so much waiting in limbo for checks to clear and things like that. So yes, I would definitely agree that CPAs would have an easier time with this.
Okay.
anything else?
No, it talks about everything that I wanted them to.
All right.
And we're always a phone call away if you guys decide to have something else or
So we decide to go this route and everything, timetable wise, what are we looking at? If we get, the earlier you go, we just, me and Jess meet you at the bank, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can come here, bring paperwork, or you can come to us, we can prep it ahead of time, if you guys know exactly what you wanna do, we'll get you up and running.
Okay,
If it's easier for us to come to you to get signatures, we can do that too.
Okay.
It's not an issue.
all right. I appreciate it. You guys have anything for that?
No. You guys are very good.
Thank you for having us out.
Thank
And you have our business cards if you.
I got their phone number on speed dial.
Anytime.
Boy, Alice wishes we didn't have her phone.
I like Alice. She does.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
All right, Mark, you're next, sir. What's your address by chance?
He's got it on there.
Oh, okay. All right. 804 to South 7?
Yep.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Mark.
My comments are about the great Skinner caper. All I know is what I read in the paper. I checked my location this morning and I know it's been deleted, so I'm assuming it was dismissed. I don't know that. Normally it'd be none of my business. But the mayor was acting as an agent of the same area's government. And to go into somebody's private property and take equipment without them knowing is criminal. It's dishonest. He had to know that. It wasn't a mistake, it was a choice. And I don't recall that the head of our government would do that. Y'all keep an eye on things. I question his honesty, I question his integrity.
And you can.
What else is going on? Thank you very much.
All right, you have a good one. Enjoy your dirt.
Enjoy what?
Your dirt will be getting you. Your dirt, you
Thank you.
requested? That's when it happens when you drink. That would be Mark J. Vogt. Anybody else got any problems?
No.
All right.
One thing I gotta say, the picture of the skidder wasn't a skid steer, it was a walk
Well,
behind. It was a tour.
when you listen to ambush media and people that can't sit at home all day, that person said, left this and right this side, every side's got their own little thing,
There's
so.
about $85,000 difference between that skid steer
Oh, I know.
and the other.
And,
A guy that deals it and knows it.
but everybody is entitled to their freedom of speech, but defamation of character can get you in the ass too, especially when lawyers are involved. All right, let's move on.
Yes, thank you.
All right, grant status, or is it over, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have my typo.
So, grant surveys are kind of at a standstill. We're at a standstill.
How many are we short?
For DNR, we're short about 30. And for CMO RPC, we are short 60 plus.
Well, so, I would propose that on that board behind the alderman, that we put that information down
Okay,
and then have a list of who hasn't responded so we can start contacting them personally and ask them to help out, to complete this, because we need that done.
Yeah, soon, and if not, we're gonna have to raise our rate stuff, whether they like it or not. And it was put on the paper about that, but I guess they don't care about
I
that.
know, but, well, I don't know, I'm sure they care, they just need to we need to personally drive it through.
I will have that together by next week.
Okay.
All right. CDs, what are these right there?
Yeah.
Cemetery, and which one of the rest? Okay, that's the meter project.
Cemetery and meter
I
deposit.
think we can, or is this a regular one under there?
We have 2 CDs that are coming due, and we just need to make a decision on if we want to roll them over. The interest rates are,
Do we shop our interest rates on those CDs to make sure that we have the highest we can get?
MRB offers a better interest rate than First State Community.
Yeah, I talked to the bank that day on there. So they're talking, if we go 7 months, you know, it's gonna be 4.1, but it goes to a total of 18 months, it's gonna be 4.06, and that'll be on both of them. Right now, we're only yielding because I guess these kind of fell on the wayside and prior administration didn't renew it, so we're been stuck at 2.35% yielding.
Actually, the 4% for 6 months is the same as MRB.
Is it? So, okay. So they're not really going up, but after that, it's, you know, it could go up, it could go down, it depends on the market, but right now, for the last decade, they've been stuck at 2.35. So,
Okay, well, I would check, other banks on the CD rates, like, Chase, you know, they have banking for municipalities also. But, I would check Chase and American Express, because I think they have a higher rate on their savings. Or give you interest on savings that's higher than other people, other, concerns. And, same might apply for, the CDs. You know, need to get, for the city, their CDs, so they're safe, but we need to get the maximum we can get on it for everyone's benefit.
True.
yeah, MRB's been pretty good. Now, there was a term on there, well, that was a different one. We have another one that's been stuck for 20 years at like 1.2 interest rate, which I don't understand that, but I'm working on that one right now, Doc. It's coming up here soon.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
Yeah, I don't know how that was missed, so. Cause really, right now, I can get it with 5.01. If I switch, once the beat matures, so.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll shop around and go from there.
Alright.
Do you guys have anything to add, or?
No, I think, yeah.
Alright, number 2 on this is gonna be city clerk salary to be divided between the water, sewer, and general.
Our general account tends to stay pretty minimal, and payroll is a large chunk of general payments that go out. So, Mary from Missouri Rural Water said that, the city clerk, their paycheck can be paid 66% by water and sewer. So it'd be 33, a third. If we need to do that to fulfill payroll sometimes.
I've seen prior clerks do that before. Pull out each one because they work in sewer, the accounts, they work in, when she says log in, log out, those are each accounts. So yeah, I can see labor on each one of the accounts. And that falls under the ordinance where the city clerk is allowed to move money to do payroll out of each funds, as long as it's, within that scope. So.
Mary had just said it would be something that the board would have to agree and vote on if it's something that you want to do, or if you don't want to do, that's perfectly fine. I know that our general account stays on the low side most of the time.
By breaking that, it would equal it out. So, would that equal out over? A little bit?
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
I don't see a problem.
it would just allow us to retain a little bit more money in our general account for unforeseen things, like anything that has to do with the park or the street department, all of that comes out of the general account. Those don't, the park, police, fire has their own account, but mowing, I have to divvy that up between accounts because general can't pay for all of the mowing. General can't pay for all of the payroll. So it just has to be divvied up. But I guess my point is that account stays on the low side.
So do we need to make a motion to vote on this?
I mean, I will sponsor that.
Okay.
If you guys would like to make a motion to do that.
I make a motion that, go ahead, Doc.
I would, since it's like a new issue that you just brought up, what I would do is probably write it out as a proposal for it to be voted on the next
Okay,
meeting or something.
Do
okay.
you want me to have it as an amendment to the already established ordinance?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go about that.
Okay, perfect.
I'll get that typed up and amended then. Or I'll just, I'll take a section out and add it to it when the amendment comes. To make it where it's updated, so that works.
That's perfect.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and review and we're going to decide to sign if the fire district, contractual agreements, are they in there?
Yes, there's a whole wad of papers in the very back. This is Steve.
Where's mine?
Oh, you know what, it's,
We share.
I'm in the wrong one. Hang on. Here it is.
Yeah. Should be right now.
There it is. There's a whole stack.
Yeah, it's right there. Just,
You don't have it.
Okay.
shipping that all around.
Okay.
Okay, so, some of this stuff is for later, but this is the part
Oh,
right here.
remember that. That's big.
I got one for you too.
Okay.
Pager.
You might be. Have this all, so we're gonna do this packet.
Oh, this is Barbara's.
Might be, there you go,
Barbara.
Okay. Did you get one?
No, she sent me an updated one.
I don't know how we're gonna get through all of this.
Well, this is pretty much, I went through it and, I mean, for the most part, well, I know, let's get some equipment. Frank, on there, are they doing like just random miscellaneous stuff?
They'll be doing everything. We got, I ain't got my phone.
Ain't much. I talked to her,
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be the SBA stuff.
I know that, but you know what I'm saying, like the diddly, you know, Miss.
Yeah, and miscellaneous, I mean, I don't know if she ain't got it down in here or anything, as in other stuff, other miscellaneous, which would be like our demo calls and all that. so
Yeah.
that's already.
I don't know, they're like tough, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, and then nature,
Yeah.
or, you know what I'm saying? It's
I mean, she's the one who wrote it up, so I don't know. how-
I can ask her, but yeah, I talked to her and everything, so did we get the Goose Creek thing?
I'm waiting for my
Just
title.
the title, the little title for it.
Yeah, they had to file for a lost title, so I'm
Did they not have it?
they don't have it, I guess they threw it away. I think they shredded it whenever they got rid of the tanker, and they thought.
Oh,
I got their tanker one.
you got 60?
I got 60 up there, but they got, I guess they shredded the wrong one.
But the insurance company wrote that one. Oh, they did. So pretty much it's just, I have called Doc, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I talked to the district attorney, and like I said the other day, I went over some things with her, and then some conservative things. We still haven't heard anything from Jeremy, but it's pretty much just an indemnity agreement. Everything that we asked for is in here. Like, the contingencies, if they were billed, moved or anything like that,
Yeah.
it would go back to the city for city use or for the public use. And, pretty much just the apparatuses, things like that. And then we would, hopefully, they'll get this in, when are you guys proposing? Is it October? Because St. Genevieve's, October 1st, I think?
So St. Jen's on their own, the city's fire department is on their own. We're separate from them. So I think they're going into October because of the budget year,
Yeah.
and we're trying to hit August 1st, so.
So, yeah. And so August 1st, do we need, our budget's coming up, you know that. So my thing is, are we funding the department until the
So,
spring?
that there would have to be talked to Sarah about that. I don't know exactly how all that's gonna play
She was
out.
saying they were hoping to go live August 1st.
Yeah, that's what-
Boom.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So,
But if we do go live by August 1st, that paper's gotta be filled out, or we're
yeah,
not
we
in.
won't be going
Yeah,
live.
we're not live yet.
So pretty much all this is just transfer of ownership in real estate. And I talked to the vice chair, Aldermen Dudo, with this. She had issues trying to get a hold of the city attorney and sent multiple times, so I spoke with her and we went down and went through this pretty extensively. And I got her cell phone number, so if there's any issues, we can do this, but this is the copy because of certain other things that were said in the meeting. There's another page rolled up because the way the ordinance reads, because of some things, but where I have to sign and the board approves it first, and I sign and the vice chair, vice versa, or clerk. So the thing is she sent me an updated one. But if you guys want to go over this, but if this isn't in until then, they won't be going live and we'll be still stuck, we'll have to be, have to budget this in for next year and then have to redo the budget and amend it after the fact. So,
When does our budget period end, or year end?
September.
September 30th.
Okay.
So they're wanting to go live August 1st, and then the way she says, that way they can get everything mostly insurance on the building and everything else, and which is understandable, they're having pretty
So in our
hard.
budget, that would be a 30 to 45 day savings reduction in expenses, is that right?
Yes, if they were to go live August 1st, is that not counting St. Jenny, correct? That's not in.
So like I said, St. Jenny.
They're on their own?
They're on their own,
Okay.
that's their own.
So,
Because the only ones you have that's in the county fire district is us, Ozora, Zell, Weingarten, Kenny, and, what is it?
okay.
That's the only ones you got.
And the treasurer is Zell, right? Is Zell, right?
Zell is our main,
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, that's where your treasurer and everybody is. So, then it'll give us time to like get our titles, safe deposit box and make sure everything's signed correctly and transferred with bill sale and everything else,
And when you use the term apparatus, what are you talking about, the fire trucks?
Yes, and equipment, yeah, sorry.
yeah,
But,
because we have to have all the titles to all the trucks, the original titles, and then we have to have the deed to the building to transfer it over to us, and then whenever if we ever get rid of it, it gets transferred back to the city.
yeah, which that's all in
I
the
think all of
contract.
that, there's 3 trucks, right?
It's
They're transferring 3 trucks.
We got this.
We're trying to transfer all the trucks. So,
She only sent paperwork to
but
transfer.
that there is, because we
It's a
have
donation.
questions, which is owned by the conservation.
Okay,
So,
Yeah.
the other trucks are actually owned by us, but.
okay, so we're just
the other truck-
transferring 3
Yeah,
trucks.
it's conservation.
Yeah.
What's the cascade system?
Huh?
What's the cascade system?
Cascade system that is, our breathing air is, a compressor and everything for our, SCBA's to refill them.
So it's the tank?
And what about utilities and all that stuff that transfers over also, right?
Yes.
Yes,
When does that transfer, like your water bill?
Right now, we're working on that.
Okay.
Bernie's our treasurer, and he's the one who's actually been working on all that, trying to figure out, because we have it where for lawn mowing business and snow removal and, like propane gets switched over.
Oh, yeah, because
The phones,
Propane,
everything,
phones.
yeah, everything started getting switched over.
in your insurance also.
Yeah, all
Over
ours.
we'll have to renew that the first of the year.
Yeah, because our insurance,
we can, well, if they go active, we can get a credit actually. They'll send us, like we did before. On the, like lawnmowers and stuff we don't have.
and once after all this goes into effect, Bernie probably, or the board.
Somebody will call me and say, send me a bill, or change the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause all this is, Doc, it's just a pretty much transfer of ownership and, except for, the building they're utilizing, like I said, and if they were to move and all that, or build a new one, the city and the public would get the building back and the land up there, so, and the other truck that was like passed on as a donation from, late Chief Bob Reed. That will be transferred to an agency that needs that truck. So,
Is that set up already?
it's in this paperwork, yeah, it's set up already, that's been set up for years, you're talking about that contingency?
No, where it goes next, yeah.
No, I don't know if it has or not, that's up to the district, because it goes to the district, and then they find, a needy,
Did they find a home for it?
yeah, that somebody needs it, or like say their firehouse burnt down, or somebody wrecked into it, then they can like donate it to them.
Okay.
That way it stays within the bounds of the contingencies that were formed from Goose Creek Fire Protection District. So, how many of us, or how many are they waiting on, just us?
I think just
she had to notarize her? Can we-
No, it can be a different notarizer.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I didn't know if we had, you know, one.
Yeah, we don't have to have her, we can book same, we can have one do it there or something like that too.
All right,
But you will have to, whoever signing that, you.
I think it specifically says who needs to say it. It's between Adam and,
well, yeah,
Yeah.
me and Doc discussed
But it
that.
has to be in front of the notary.
Yeah, well, I know that.
I know what you're saying.
So, Doc, you got any, calls or questions?
The only question that comes to mind is that, the status of the two CDs.
Those, I don't think that they're mature yet, are they?
there's one that's mature through
Okay.
MRP. It
I
said
don't know
we,
yet.
well, we have, well,
Was there any contingencies on that? I don't know.
no,
I mean, where do those CDs come from? Was that taxpayer money?
I have no idea how that,
Okay, we need to look into that.
we had 10
That's
days.
exciting.
We had 10 days to
Okay.
figure that out.
Well, we'll look into that, but. Separate.
That's really the only, thing that's left hanging in my mind, because the transfer equipment and all the, the physicality of the, fire department equipment, the apparatus, the building, etc., that's kind of a no-brainer. So that I'm okay with. I'm not, I wouldn't like willy-nilly go into, giving the CDs to the district, as part of it, because they're gonna be raising their funding on their own without, absorbing it from other municipalities by way of taxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's nothing in here about that, other than the taxes, which is what 30 cents on per
30 cents a month.
100. First, is that first line, real estate? Okay. Alright. Yeah, this one's just showing just a tangible property, quick claim deed, which we already got that, in a folder. And we have it, where the parcel numbers and all that stuff, so it doesn't say anything like that other than the contingency we had. What about the ordinance? The original bill of ladings, I guess, for that crew cab truck from DNR, and that's what ordinance is. Yeah, this is just, see attached.
There's no secondary absorption of financial assets.
I don't see anything in here about that. This is all building and tangible property.
I'm still waiting on something.
At all. This is basic. It's just a basic, pretty much transfer of ownership from one person to the next. I mean, I have this same template on my.
Anyway, I would do due diligence on that to make sure that, it's just the physical objects that are going to be transferred over.
It says, this conveyance is made subject to the condition that the above described real estate shall be used solely and continuously as a fire station or firehouse by the district. If any time the real estate is no longer used for this purpose, then all rights, title, and interest in real estate shall automatically revert to the grantor or its assigns, which would be us.
That's fine. I just,
I know what you're saying about the other one.
our city attorney to green light this so that we can move quickly on it.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah,
He got the paper sent over to him, but he never contacted.
it's been months.
So they've been sent to him?
Yes.
So I'll call him.
They were sent to him last month.
I talked to the district attorney, she CC'd me in the email to Jeremy, and we've yet to hear back. I don't know what's going on, I don't know if he's just busy or what.
anticipate a response.
Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you.
All right. And it needs to be an expedited response, because if they're only waiting on us, and it can eventually save us some money and also help the district out and let it expand, since we're gonna be paying taxes on it anyway, so we really should,
Well, we're kind of running out of time.
yeah, we're running out of time with the budget too, so.
But there's also a clause in here that the county saw that we can electronically sign that too.
Yeah.
Down the part, yeah.
Yeah, we can e-sign if we want to.
We could use Essence, yeah, instead of gone.
Yeah. So, that was done up because, something brought up about legal status about me, so that's why Doc's name's on there, but it got corrected.
Okay.
Because people make assumptions when they shouldn't. So anyhow,
Okay, so we're calling Jeremy.
again,
Okay.
All right.
we'll get it taken care of.
Moving right along.
This,
You got your stuff all on.
well,
Here.
build a tree.
Well. This is the part one.
Citizens grievances? Okay, all right. Let me see. All right. You guys on the next section for citizen complaints?
Yes.
Since we already have one. This one, I'm gonna send a letter to. This is about issues with McBride Metal, or the owner of such down here.
Yep.
And their thing, but we can send them a letter and ask them, but they do have right in their own private property if is he licensed as a business?
No.
Okay. All right. Won't release the names of any of these because I don't want any retaliation
No.
against anybody. Now 7, so. This is, against,
Being parked in both of them. Isn't like 15 feet supposed to be off or something? 10? Come here to the road, is how it
oh, he's on 10 foot even.
Yeah, I was wondering, because of the scrap metal.
Yeah, Ryan, they mark it, I mean, it is, but it still needs, I talked to him, he did address some of new axles, so, but I'm gonna still send him a letter, that's all we can do right now, because we're still waiting on, well, hopefully, we can get an actual cop in town. Maybe part-time. This one says grinder overflowing on Kaufman. Monthly grinder just being reset, not being pumped out or repaired. And this was taken by you over
2 days ago.
in person. Alright. And wasn't this addressed today?
It was, and that brings up something that Doc mentioned to me earlier. When you guys are working on these grinders, is there some way that you can relay to one another where you're at? Like this specifically, he thought that Frankie, you were going and pushing the reset button and calling it good. But after speaking with Eric, the grinder has an electrical problem that we need to work on. So is there somewhere we can put that so
There actually is.
so we all know where we're at on something? Because we had another resident come in here today talking to me about his grinder up on Church, and I had to call around and find out what was going on, and he needs a new grinder. So,
Yeah, I got, involved in one of these too because, I had, Eric give me information about the locks on the grinder and, apparently were two on them and one of them looked like it had been, altered in some way or tampered with the lock, you know, those little master locks. And then when I went and spoke with the resident, he told me that Frankie had been there the night before and had taken the lock off or something like that. So that was an example where we have administration in on it and then two branches of sewer and water in on it with no one really knowing what's going on. What I mean is that everybody needs to be on the same page with this. So if someone has a question about locks or being pumped down or whatever, that it's known. And it needs to be kept up all the time. Even as a doctor, when I see a patient in the office, I gotta take notes on what I did afterwards. And I'm the guy that's treating it, so next time I see that person, I'm gonna have my notes to look on. Now, what if someone else covers for me and goes in, they don't know what's going on with a particular patient. And, our citizens are our patients. We have to take care of their health and well-being, and everything that's done for them with their grinders or whatever needs to be documented and kept up to date all the time. There shouldn't be, I don't care how you do it, I'm assuming that there is a format to do this stuff already, it's just not being followed. If it means stopping at City Hall and writing it on that whiteboard behind Rose and say, I went last night and did this on it, and then when the next employees come in the morning, they can look up and they pop in, they look at that, and they know what's going on. Or whether it's, at the water plant, somewhere, there needs to be a logbook of what's done. And it needs to be kept up all the time, no excuses.
Can I interject, Doc?
Yeah, I don't want to say.
All right, thank you. So there is a grinder repair, I guess, and checklist sheet somewhere. I've seen it one time. I got a copy somewhere. Do you want me to do that? That way it's a pass-down log almost, or do you want me to just put a pass-down log?
There needs to be a hub, an information hub, where anyone can go in at any time and they know who's having a problem with what, who worked on it last, what they did, and what needs to be done next, period.
All right. I'll find a hub.
I'll see what I can.
I'm just talking about like a bulletin board, like you walk into City Hall, you open the door, and you look to the left or to the right, and it's right there. So when someone's going to work at St. John or whatever, you can just pop in for a sec, and in a magic marker or whatever, write down what you did. So when the guys come in to finish up or to pump down a grinder, they know what the problem is and what needs to be done and what hasn't been done or whatever.
But I kind of feel like that should be not just on this board here, sorry, it should be some kind of paper, because, and I know that's a lot.
Well, I was wondering, Rose, which is a very, and I was on that same line of thinking, except I was thinking more digitally.
Yes.
Because that's an Android, you can get Google Documents,
Yes.
Google Keep, and that way, they don't have to have the tablet, they just have to be able to access our account to get into those. And I would probably have to work with Eric on how to get that done. But Frankie would be able to do it all the time.
These days, you can hit the little microphone and just dictate on there, this is, employee A, I did this at 10 o'clock. I took the lock off, one lock was was busted, one looked like it was screwed around with, or there was no problem with the locks, and, the capacitor was blown, or the float was off, or, whatever it happened to be, so that we know, and then if there's a running written record dialogue with that, like the gentleman whose, grinder pit overflows underneath his trailer, that could be, addressed, because we know it's happened to him a number of times, and anyone looks at it and goes, oh, I think we have a problem here. And since it's in writing, and visible to all the parties, then everyone knows it and it doesn't get missed and you don't forget about it. Because people forget if they just have stuff in their head. Because the next problem comes up and you forget about the, pre-existing one. If it's written down, it's less likely to happen.
If there's ever a question, you can always go back and print those out and say, well, this is what was done.
Well, and
You guys got that proof.
if they ask me questions, they come in and,
Yeah, you had access.
like the one gentleman was upset and he's yelling, but he did say, I'm not mad at you, but I don't know the answer to the questions without, and that's why I have to send them away and call somebody and call them back. So even if they're just small, just sentences, Frankie did this, Eric did this, and then we can figure it out. We'll have to do
Yeah,
that.
because in a way, whoever's not documenting what they're doing is throwing the next person in the chain of command. Because the resident's gonna dump on them, because they just want their property fixed.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't even be calling us if everything was fixed and running. They'd be watching TV or something.
Yeah. But you're right, so we need to work on that and get that where we're kind of on the loop and, simple as a bulletin board. Or,
It's not, we need to work on it, it needs to be done.
well, I know it needs to be done. I'm trying to figure out what logistically would work best if it don't get done, so I'm aware of it too.
I can also call Mary.
Right.
That way, if it don't get done, I'll go do it my damn self.
But if we call Mary and she's worked in the wastewater and all that business, and maybe she has a format or, somewhere to get me started.
We don't have a digital work order thing. I'll do some looking.
We used to have paper, but
We do
I know.
have a work order.
I have the paper you're talking about.
And I have to, and you through subs, I can also issue work orders, but that doesn't help me keep track
of
of what's happening.
Oh, okay.
But I think the Google Docs is a really good thing because we use it at school and I would put information about things that another teacher had. So I think that's a very good idea for using that as the hub.
Okay.
See what we can do.
All right. Hey,
What
that's
else do you got
more here. Lots of duplicates.
Well, it's a
That's
front and
original.
back, it's a front and back.
Okay. All right, this one's, well, it's kind of legal matter for the police department, but this person's no longer here. This one I'm gonna have to reach out to. I can't discuss a lot of this. It's about cases that were not filed. They're requesting cases that are case numbers that prior Officer Urban said he was gonna do. And they've been waiting 3 months. That's unacceptable. So, I'll look into that and call these people. Very much I can do if he didn't do a report, I can't do anything. Okay, if you guys want to look at it, go ahead.
That's just the back side, so I
Okay.
just put it on down to me.
Yeah, 'cause that's is this related over there too?
I don't know. just brought in to me.
Oh, this is, yeah, this one's gonna have to be referred. How many crashes did you have this past? Did you have any down this way? The county area?
Well, right there past the gas station, turn your camera.
Okay. Alright. You guys got anything on these? Alright. So this I'll look into a little bit more, I'll have adopted or something, so. Okay. That's it on that, I guess. These are the same people that I already talked to take care of. I will take care of another letter. Alright. Alright. So that's that.
This isn't on there, but it can be number 5.
Okay. So, hey, so I went to update, today, Frank, I've been on the phone with you and our team and everybody. You know, the blue and green vouchers and that, they have been used since like 2002.
Yeah, because, well, I was gonna use some for, my license to renew my CU.
Do you still have some?
What's that?
You have some
I
still?
don't have them.
Well, they said they sent them here in January.
I don't get them.
Oh.
You get them all.
Oh, I never
Well,
get
the
them.
city gets them all.
Well, somebody received and signed for them, and it wasn't me, so.
Wasn't me.
So I'm ordering new ones, but I had to update this because prior people were on here that, so I updated with Eric as being a train, and he was chief, whatever, you know, operator, whatever. That way y'all can get your vouchers and that, which, I mean, he needs to get his too, obviously, if he's gonna do that right. So, cause there's just classes coming up, so.
You get it. But Eric can get a class B now. These guys are trying to get class B.
Yeah.
6 months.
They even have you down as attorney.
You got any class?
They have you down as an attorney.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Attorney?
Have to, yeah.
Man.
What's your retainer?
Oh,
Who filled this out? You know, he's 2 people, 3 people. He's an attorney and a secondary operator, primary operator. So, yeah. I said this, did you send this in? So these
No, you just.
Okay, I'm gonna send this in and they're gonna reissue the packet. It's only gonna be good till December, but after that, every January will be a packet. I'm trying to get them up some because, you know, it is up and I don't know how much training you need. Does Alliance provide for you?
I just renewed on them. I paid for them.
Oh, okay. Because, you know, given the fact, I'm trying to get him into certain ones and I know they're voucher eligible, so, but, I just want to make sure we had some because they said we haven't used any since 2002, which is kind of weird. I'm sure that you have.
I have used.
That's weird. Oh, well, whatever, so. Alright, let's move on. That was just an update, Doc, on updating DNR. Anything else before the board, which is part of this? Like, anybody got anything they want to bring up? I do want to thank the city of Perryville and Brent Buick and the mayor and Jeremy and all the guys for coming out and helping us in our time of need with the wastewater plant, which has been not the greatest, but it's sad your own county don't help you, but you try, but I mean, those guys are just, they come down and it's crazy. I mean, little dispatch, they probably saved us $15,000 or more probably, right?
But you weren't there.
They've been wonderful to us all year.
All year, and I mean, and they're very welcoming, so I mean, I have a good rapport with their city hall people, you know. So I'm very grateful, because I mean, we converted our honey wagon into a Vector, which we should have. So, it only took 5 hours, but it worked kind of, but it just didn't have enough after that. But thank goodness they were here. The other things, I mean, they even took some slugs with them. God bless them. You know, so I do want to thank them, and I think we need to give them a proclamation of appreciation somehow between the public works and Jeremy and the city administration, because they went up and above the call here when they didn't have to on the weekend. You know? So that's just my thought. Anybody?
No, absolutely, I agree.
You got anything you need to bring up?
I don't know.
You got anything?
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but Eric needs to learn how to do samples.
Yes, I was
And
sorry about that.
this has been dragging out a few weeks, and I don't think there's any reason that within 3 or 4 days this is not knocked out, where he's taught how to do it, and whether it be a sham sample, just to go through the process, so that he can help out and, you know, do stuff and free Frankie up. So, I understand from what I heard that Frankie does it at 4 in the morning or something, but perhaps on a Friday, you can take 10 minutes aside to show Eric how to do it so he can do it
Sure.
without delay.
So, how long did you have time to show and do samples, I guess?
We can show them, do samples, I've just been tied up through the
Oh, I know
Fridays
you
the past
have.
few weeks here, so.
I mean, when you get, did it take a while? Or?
The big sample for a monthly takes 24-hour period of how you gotta do it.
Well, I know that, but
But
I mean,
like mixed liquor is easy.
TSS,
But,
did it take a while?
you got oil, grease, ammonia, E. coli.
Alright, so,
What about tomorrow? Now, you don't work up there on Fridays, so.
I don't work up there supposedly on Fridays. The past 3 weeks here I've been nonstop, so, because we've been having a lot of projects going on big time, with all the pavement and storm drains and stuff like that. We're doing. But I'm supposed to be free tomorrow. But we was planning on trying to tackle a couple of these grinders if we can get to because last weekend was supposed to take place in it, but the sewer plant got upset there, so seriously upset. So we had to take care of that before we dropped into an SSO, and we had to call DNR and tell them what we were doing. So,
Yeah, we watched you all night out the window. The house.
alright, so the docs, that's the only thing, so pretty much, just let the record show that, you know, Doc requested that Eric gets, you know, whatever, on the minutes. Trained on the TSS and all that other stuff, just in case the free up Frankie, he's got other things, or St. John decides to blow another line, or he's got to cut up asphalt or something. Anything else? Let's see here. Oh, I'll give it an update. Talked to insurance, and Tim from Van Devender about our plant issues since, you know, historical rainfall has been going on for 2 months. So he's supposed to be getting hold of him. Spoke with FEMA as well and Hank Velker, so they're trying to expedite that. Kind of a mixed match, a little bit everybody's trying to figure out, because we got one of the 2 plants that Brad, Ledbetter, and them, I talked to them earlier for a meeting. They're trying to figure out, you know, hey, cause they, you know, so we're trying to, you know, figure out where the money is. They had a meeting today, trying to find destination backs to get us some funding, to at least get us by or something, or if we have to, but still have enough funding funding to fix this, and then long-term funding for our new project, so, which is going good, it's pretty much done. But we wanna have something that's gonna get us by, and then money to have capital outlay to start that next project while we're limping this one along. It's just a balance of the money here, so they're reaching out everywhere. And so I've been doing between insurance on that includes the park and the rest of the damage, but everything else, you know, I'm at their mercy at this point. So I just want to let you guys an update on that, because that plan is just, yeah, this should have been addressed years ago. I mean, everybody agrees, and we all work, I mean, we can be fine.
No, it's dilapidated, you've documented the damage to it, and the need for imminent repair on it, so.
And they're trying to rush emergency funding, but plants don't get built overnight, unfortunately. They wish.
Yeah.
But they're trying to get something to get us by while they're building the new plant, or that system, so, which is understandable, I mean, so that's where we're at now.
Alright.
Other than that, I don't have anything. Anybody else? No? Okay, says this participation, do we have anything on that?
He already spoke.
Oh, I'm gonna ask if anybody else would like to speak. Anybody else like to speak? Not Jody, all right. Okay, emergency management, really don't have much, I've been doing flood mitigation stuff, and then some FEMA online trainings, but stuff I've already done. And, just, I've been working with air cleaning outages, just looking at the water shedding and just the water table and stuff like that with this rain. But everything's kind of tied up here and there, so we've been trying to figure out how to kind of divert water a little bit better. But that's also being addressed by the state too, with that one, like a car falling in the hole over here, so. Anyhow, but other than that, that's all I got. Police department, Doc, you got anything for the police department?
No, not really. You've spoken with someone as a potential replacement from a part-time basis, but we don't have any word back on him yet.
Okay, yeah.
No, so no on that.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, so right now, everybody needs to just call county dispatch. They can't enforce city ordinances unless they decide they want to sign a minimum agreement. But call 83-5215 or 911. That's pretty simple. We're working on getting a police officer that actually can be more proactive with the community. Fire department, Frankie, whoever.
We had 14 calls. 8 medical, 3 vehicle accidents, 1 MV fire, mutual aid, and a fire alarm. We had to change, put 2 new front new tires on 81. We was going to a call and I had a blowout, so we had to change in and out. Everything issues, we had to service 42, it was up to service it, oil changes and stuff, so we had to get that one out, because that's our priority there. So anyways, other than that, ain't got anything else right now, except for what we talked about with the district and stuff, so that's all.
Yeah, alright. Moving on, Kathy, you got anything on the fire side?
Nope.
Alright. Street department, Doc, you're up.
Yeah, I noticed, the holes are filled in a little bit around the bend there by the bridge, which is great. It's done the job, the holes are filled in, and they looked like they packed out nicely, so the guys did a wonderful job on that.
I think Frank did that.
Are we, how much more of that material do we have left?
We got pretty well full pallet left.
I had another pallet, about three-quarters of a pallet.
I only took, what, 3 bags off of there?
Okay, so we got 47 bags left, I believe. So we're gonna try to hit that if everything can just ease off a little bit, give us a little time to hit all these potholes and some other ones around town. And then, I did notice over here in Cedars, that sunken spot, it's bad.
Yeah, but that's water coming off the hill.
That's,
No, I mean, that's great, the weather's perfect for doing stuff like that, and I don't know if they blow out the hole to get any debris out and rock, maybe pre-treat with diesel so that it'll adhere better, but, if they're rigorous with their hole preps for that, then I think we'll have something that'll last for a bit.
yeah, I guess back for time in. So,
I appreciate all the rock on Third Street too.
oh, the rock on Third Street, oh yeah, I forgot. I did rock Third Street because it was getting pretty bad there, Doc. I couldn't even grade it. It was just down to that hard clay base. So, it is a legal city street, so, and it was turning into where the water's just piling up over there, so we're trying, it looks pretty good. It seems like it packed in real well.
Packed in real good.
So, but you're welcome. I totally forgot about that, thanks, Mr. Bergen. Signs, I don't know where they're going. Street signs are like,
Signs, that's Sycamore, you have a vehicle restriction sign on the left-hand side, but I don't think that, there's a guy with a big box truck that drove up that hill, to get to Marion Cliff, so there may need to be a sign on that telephone post that says no trucks on the street or something like that, so when they try to make a right turn or Google's telling them, their map class is telling them to go up Sycamore instead of going around, then they can catch that. Same thing with maybe contacting Marion, I don't know if you can or not, but contacting Marion Cliff and ask them to give a route that the vendors need to take, to turn over at the grain elevators, turn right and make another right turn and just go up the street. Because they have the same guys doing deliveries all the time, I'm assuming. So, they need to learn their routes better.
okay. We'll get that checked out. The street sign, we're having issues with street sign. I don't know if they're just breaking or blowing off or they're getting stolen. I don't know. Because it's becoming a horrible habit and it's going to mess up EMS and everything up probably. Right. Plus if you need to cross street and you look up and you just have nothing to go by. I know St. John makes their own signs, but I don't think they provide to other municipalities or anything. But I know we have some, but we need to get them replaced and tightened up, and our radiator springs light is broke. So I'm still trying to figure that out, who owns what that. We own it. So, okay, we own it. I was told mowed out first, but then I guess we do own it.
Got a bucket truck, I always go there.
One
There
day,
have to be another post set. There have to be another post set, but that one got broke off.
You talking about that yellow sign, that yellow light here?
yeah, our radiator springs light in cars. Real quick,
I don't know if it'll save money or not, but
it will.
if they put one of those yellow diagonal intersection signs up there instead of the red light, flashing red light, then that may save us on utilities and stuff,
So
so.
we can like out there on 32, how they got to see the highway, right there, that's a blind spot, we put them flashing lights down there in the intersection, off that bridge.
Yeah, that would save us money, Doc.
The state would put them up for
And
us.
the state would put it up for us.
You have to contact Brad, or,
Yeah, I'll have to get a little Brad on that. Cause that would save us money, cause we're paying electric, insurance, actually we need to check on insurance on our report light. So,
Because I thought, is that a flashing red light?
it's a flashing caution and red light. So it advises you to stop and it advises the other people to adhere at caution.
and what they can do.
I've never seen anyone stop there on 61.
No, 61 don't stop, there's people coming off the
It's
hill.
people coming off the hill, Doc.
There's been wrecks right there because of that.
That's the red.
Blind spot, so.
And it's warning you when you turn. Go ahead.
I thought years ago, they were talking about taking that light down for saving money in that. If I remember right, the chamber, because that's like a landmark here in town, the chamber was supposed to take over the electric bill for that. I don't know if that's still in effect, but,
They did not.
oh, okay, I stand corrected then.
But you're right, they were supposed to, yes,
They were supposed to,
that was the deal.
so is there minutes on that? The chamber was supposed to
Oh
pay?
my God, that's probably
So this,
20 years ago.
so should I return this light to the chamber? Is it their light? If it's just.
Not that I know of. All I'm just saying is that they supposedly agreed to pay the electric for that, to keep it, because it's a landmark in St. Mary, that light.
Yeah.
Okay, so chamber supposedly agreed,
Landmark, then let them pay the bill, you know, so.
yeah, they supposedly agreed to pay the electric bill to keep that light there.
Oh.
Because the city was gonna take it out. Because of, you know,
I was wondering, cause we're paying, what, I mean, it's electric and everything for that thing, insurance. I don't know what, but.
that was probably 20 years ago, so it would take forever to go through all the minutes and.
Oh, I know, and even if they're right, so, alright, Doc, anything else?
No, I maybe could talk to DOT and see if they have an alternate way to treat that their engineers agree with.
Okay. I'll get with Brad and about that, that by C road, that type one.
Yes, all it is just a yellow
Incoming traffic, traffic near intersection.
yeah,
Well, it flashes whenever there's traffic coming on 32, or,
I mean,
Yeah,
we
they
don't have to
know.
actually have it flash whenever, because that's sensors and stuff, and that's costly. But you can have it where it's a cautionary showing there's a road there.
Dangerous intersection ahead or something like that, they can do that. So I'll call Brad tomorrow.
because they can,
Yeah, they got that,
blind
yeah.
spot.
Cross traffic does not
And
stop.
they have to have engineers that know the safest thing, like safety engineers. You know, the same guys that figure out whether you need a clover leaf or a roundabout or whatever, or that factors in the safety and the expense of the thing.
Alright. Anybody got any more on the street, or Doc got any more on the street?
No, sir.
Alright, so we got that figured out, disco ball is not gonna work for that. Alright. Water wastewater department,
We talked about that.
yeah. Frankie, you wanna reiterate a little bit more on the plan?
So anyways, we'll go with water first. Had to change out the chem feed pump, line that goes underground to go to the main, because it, popped a hole in it. So anyways, got that changed out. I think Adam here was looking up to order some more of the line that we need. Because I only got maybe 10 foot left, and that's not enough to reach if I did it again. Plus we can get it cheaper by buying it outright ourselves than going to a store to get it. Anyway, so The other thing is like Adam said, appreciate Perryville 100%. They had their sledge truck down here, they had their tractor down here. The honey wagon was doing everything it could in its power. It was like a little engine that could. But after it got to a certain head on top, it couldn't pull very much. So he did some calling to the mayor in Perryville. I was calling the operator in Perryville because we have dealt with things with each other before. And they was at which was really nice, they was at the lake of the Ozarks or whatever. And they called us back and said, hey, we got you guys, we'll send the guys down to you, what do you need? So we told them what we needed, and they sent the first truck wouldn't reach out there, and the second truck was right behind them, so it was great that they helped us out. Jeremy, he called, kept in contact with me, he's still in contact with me, just asking me how the plant's running. I know, he come down, kind of looked it over with me, and he said there was a little bit of old stuff, which it can happen with lift stations being septic, old stuff, and kind of with the rainfalls and stuff happening, and then the real hot weather, and then we've caught a septic truck in town here. We don't know if they was dumping in one of our manholes, because after we seen that truck, that's when we started having problems too a little bit. So we've been kind of keeping an eye out on manholes to see if there's anything poured around them. They're bringing septic tank waste in, and you're dumping it into a, aerated system that's septic, so it's gonna make the plant upset. So right now we're dealing with a little bit of caking on top still. We took the clear fire all the way down because we thought the rate was broke again, like it was back in, I think it was 2013 or something like that. I don't remember exactly whenever that took place, or 09 or something. I can't remember exactly the date on it, but anyways, it started caking at the top of the clear fire, and we know hot weather, DO, dropped out, can't help that in hot weather. So I started doing this turning over denitrification, but it was turning over like a pond foot. So knew something was not right and everything. We thought the rate broke, so that's the reason why we started pumping down the center. Thank God we did take down the center and cleaned it out. We found some objects in there that shouldn't have been in there. The other thing is and they was old. I don't know how old, but they was old. The other thing is the rubbers on the paddle on the rakes is gone. It's basically cutting the concrete floor now. There was no way to turn the turnbuckles to raise it anymore because it's already at its pitch. So that's what we're in for, to try to get our engineer now involved in it. He's involved with us too on it now. He's been helping us out, trying to get funding to do it. He's already contacted DNR on his side for just in case we do have an episode happen, then we're covered. I don't have to contact DNR until it happens to cover us, but it's already covered. It's already, the chain of command is already starting to happen, so that way they know if it does happen, they know the reason why. So we're doing good now. I know we're still getting a little caking on top. We're trying to, the engineer's supposed to do one thing, but I'm trying to do an opposite so we don't have to have that on our conscience. I'm trying to bring the plant back around. If it don't happen, then we gotta go to plan B. So that's what we're trying to work on now. And a lot of utility things inside of town here too has not got done in a timely manner because of all this starting to happen. Like I said last week, we was going to work on one thing, and then that's priority. We don't want to dump the creek. And that's what we keep it from. Adam here's got a lot of pictures from me from being down in the clear fire, taking pictures of the rake, the bearings. We did notice things on there that they need to be updated majorly. Concrete structure does have cracks in it. We're trying to, hopefully, engineers got the pictures, FEMA's got pictures now, so hopefully this actually takes effect. Other than that, everything's been kind of kosher a little bit. but still keeping an eye on that. Grinders, we have to replace three of them, right now. Might be a fourth one. I know yesterday Eric was over at one and started smoking, so it's the wiring issue. I don't know if it's actually the wiring itself or if it's actually the pump itself causing it to do what it was doing. So, the thing about it is that people dumping stuff in there they shouldn't be dumping in there is what's causing a lot of these issues. A lot of fat products, women products, male products, I guess you want to call it recreational use products. I don't know how you want to say that, but there's things that we found that should not be, foreign objects are in the sewer system that shouldn't be in the sewer system. So anyway, toilet paper and feces and urine is the only thing, well, dishwater and all that, laundry water, nothing else. Flushable wipes, they do, yeah, they flush, but they do not like a grinder system. They do not like a sewer system. So we have found a bunch of them and a couple of these that we've already pumped down and found them. So I do know there's an ordinance that we do have in our ordinance book that if we do find more material in the facility system at the residence, that they are liable for, our expense of pumping it down and repairs.
So what is the ordinance about for companies responsible?
Companies,
Per se, the fats issues.
What are you talking
Grease
about?
and.
So grease and stuff. Well, it's
Is
not,
it-
I know the facility up here got charged for what happened.
Yes.
Majorly. They got charged because that was on them, that wasn't us. They tore up a pump that was just recently put in a few years ago. And we had, environmental come down, they looked at it and they was referring to what was going on. Residents, we're finding a bunch of this at the residents.
it's the same thing, and technically we're supposed to be charging every time we have to come pump your grinder down if you were in violation for how much solids of waste. And really, like Frank said, they're not held at a different standard. Everybody wants cheaper water, cheaper this. At this rate, we're going from the negligence. It's costing us so much. It's going to drive the sewer side up so much.
And I understand that the material, the pumps are old, I really do. The age of them, but I know there's a lot of these pumps that's old pumps and they're still immaculate because they're clean, the pits are clean because people understand certain residents. Yes, they can go out because of age-wise, but these are pumps that I'm seeing that, in which they're recent pumps that were put in, they're King pumps. They're not modern, there's actually King pumps in the system that I'm seeing now, having problems, and it's because of negligence of the homeowner. Throwing stuff in there that shouldn't be thrown in there. A grinder's only got, not even a 16th of an inch gap, and you go and throw a flushable wipe, they're flushable, but they're not vibratable.
The one over there, she threw a whole pack of flushable wipes, and not only the main line coming in, the whole grinder was full, plus other extra things that,
Recreational.
yeah, recreational things. But even at that point, I don't even know how to shampoo bottle got in there, but whatever. But things like that, it says perfect range 419, 420. If you're caught doing that, you have now became owner of that. And you have to pay labor, you have to pay all that. And, this worked at Goose Creek and other places, and they had the same, well, not ordinances, but they had covenants there. They enacted that. You tear it up, it's your baby. And people tend not to tear up things that they don't have to pay for. Or they have to pay for it. Yeah,
So we,
Go ahead.
so, I mean, I think we should start,
we should,
if we're having problems like this, I think we need to start,
we're dropping grinders left and right. I mean, that's
So,
just,
just put it this way, in the past year here, within the past year, we've already spent probably around, 30 grand. for
easy.
and that's what, and we're having problems with grinders over there now, and we're trying to keep our heads above water to get more grinders, and they're doing silly things like this.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
It's abuse of the system, but yet they want to say, well, I didn't know, or this and that. Yes, you do, because if you read the package, you might say flushable, but unless it's septic, say like real thin one ply, like camping paper, our pumps can't handle that. And they definitely aren't gonna handle your shampoo bottle.
No, that was crazy, I don't know how that happened.
They can't handle cotton.
Yeah, or your, Q-tips, metal, I mean, just things like that. It's just ridiculous. And that one, especially this one with the complaint, I really don't want to see that as a valid complaint whenever I got pictures today and the fat was how thick?
2 inches at least.
2 inches of fat, like lard or top. So yeah, it's not gonna work properly, because they're dumping grease down the drain. So I mean, yeah, we've been very, very diligent, in accommodating these people, but we figured, after the incident up there, they would take heed to this. But I guess we're gonna have to become stern and just, we have an add-on on the billing program to charge them for extracurricular things such as pumping services, after hour, all that stuff. And we gotta come do that all the time to keep from having to do an SSO to DNR and get fined, because they're not the ones getting fined, we are. So, I mean, what's your thought?
And I mean, the other thing is too, is that kind of material is what sets our plant too. I mean, when we're
Yeah.
dumping that kind of stuff down there, certain chemicals
Well,
or whatever. I mean,
Okay,
it's-
hypothetically, it's ignorance, hypothetically. Let's alleviate that, let's print it off, the ordinance, post it, highlight it, where it says what not, what we're gonna start charging, what not to flush, what not to put in there, what not to put down the sink. And then they can't say, I didn't know.
And you might have to revise that ordinance, because I don't know if it's actually got the flushable wipes in it or not. I don't know how that
It
states.
says any rag or material such,
Plus some of it,
it's,
It's still covering it.
yeah, just like this one. It's still covering it, but that should have been charged. And it says we're supposed to charge by total suspended solids or the weight and all that. Because we have to process this stuff in a different bin versus putting it straight into our processing plant, because the debris has to settle, then you have to decant off, and then we got all this trash mixed in with perfectly good sludge, or would have been sludge, And you got 1, 2, 3 guys on it, and you're paying for labor, and that's not paying for it. So, everybody went, oh, the bills are so high, I wonder why. Look what you do, you tear up things. But whenever you own it, you don't.
well, bottom line is our ordinance needs to be enforced.
Yeah, I mean, it's, just know this 30 pages. It's, so, I
If
mean,
it says 30 pages in it, you cannot do this.
so.
Well, we can do what we did with your little ice cream thing. I can type up a thing and I can slap it on the back of the water bill.
Yep.
And people are seeing it.
I understand a little bit of grease. We can get all the grease off of our
Right.
plates.
I get it.
But this here, that pit there literally looked like you just dumped the lard bucket right in there. So, I mean, it's bad. And there's a few of them like that. And I don't want to about it.
And some places, restaurants, things like that, need to have grease traps, and that's in there too. Or adequate sized grease traps, may I say.
But it's the point about it is, it takes us away from our other duties that we need to do because we're fixing a problem that you caused. So anyways, I mean, like, say for your instant tear grinder went out, if I look in your pit and it's clean and hardly no grease in there or anything, I'm gonna be like, well, this pump just died on its own. But whenever, you know, you see foreign objects. It's
That's
like,
a choice or something.
I already know what's going on here.
Yeah, so I mean, it's sad, but Eric takes pictures of, you know,
That's not.
or we got people going in messing with their own boxes, thinking they know what they're doing, and that's it's just, no. So, they're gonna get shocked with a lot of juice, but we're just gonna have to enforce it and start charging, and then people wants to complain, we're just gonna, if it keeps going this route, we're gonna have to raise the rates anyway, so, because they just keep abusing it and abusing it, so they have nobody to blame but themselves, and then when they cry about it, they're the ones doing it. Because they're getting $4,000 pumps plus labor for nothing. Why? Because they tore up their other one? So you tear up your car, you tear up any something else, I should give you a free car, right?
Yep.
Right? Alright. I mean,
I say yes for me.
it's the same principle, you know, and it's just manageable things, and then like, I understand this, but like he explained it today, there's a problem. Well, yeah, but then when you're adding bacon grease, and you're trying to make a lard factory out of your sewage, it doesn't work. It makes it harder on us. We spend more time doing it. So, it tears up our equipment, you know, and so that's where we're at. And right now, what's our levels in those bins?
Oh, well, I mean, we're dropped out now, because of taking on the order, but, I mean, we've already, you know, I know last year whenever we pumped them all down, we was gonna try to get it where we could do it yearly, like, you know, in the fall. But with what's going on now, it might come a little sooner, or we might have to figure out room. So, but, yeah, so it's a fun process right now, trying to deal with that down there and then dealing with what individuals are doing out here, so.
It takes us a lot of time, even me. I mean, I just kept track of my hours on their little time clock. I have 86 hours in between everything. 86. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
So, because they may be here, I may go over there for them, or this or that, you know, it's nuts. Or I'll push all or mow, or I plant because it's 1,000 degrees, you know, it's just, but yeah, we have to get this under control. I mean, it's like, it's a free-for-all now, and if we don't step down our foot, I don't know what's gonna happen. So, yeah.
This already says we can't take pork in the grinder.
Oh, no.
Hell no.
We can't keep pork and out the.
No, because some of these people, in my opinion, and you may disagree, Frank, but in my opinion, some of these people should have had to pay. You know, or at least pay half. I mean, we got some that owe us, but can't get blood out of a turnip. You know, but
Well, right now, in my opinion, I think we need to start, the ones that are doing it, that we know are doing it, I think we need to formally send them a letter stating, look,
Copy the.
this is what's going on, this is what we're noticing, and it's taking a lot of manpower, whatever, if you have to put in there, and just tell them, this is our ordinance, if these things are found in your pits, you are negligent, and you will start paying the fine for them.
we had to do it for subdivision because, you know, the rich and mighty up there, they're doing it wrong. What was it, burn 2 lift stations up? The whole lift station up?
Took both pumps.
Both pumps, what, 14 grand?
I was more than that.
How much was it?
I think that was almost like 30.
$30,000 in pumps, right, you know, but they don't throw nothing down there. But yeah, so we send a letter to each one of them, if it happens again, the cost gets split between everybody. It's like, you gotta hold them accountable like kids or adults, I don't get it, so, I mean.
That way you covered yourself, because if you're sending a letter stating that this is what we've observed while you're up there, then. Yeah, he's black screen over here.
Oh, we got him back.
Alright, well,
Anyway.
I guess we'll move on, we'll get letters out, based off ordinance 419, 420, so you can put them on the back, or put, don't flush things,
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll come up with a slang slogan. Park and cemetery, Rose, you got anything?
What you, anything?
Anything on?
Park or
Park, I noticed up in the park that there is a couple of trees that are starting to fall over in different places after all the rains and everything. But, I mean, and some of the headstones, we're finding headstones back in the weeds that somebody hasn't probably mowed in probably years. That we started actually finding the lines and mowing back in and finding old headstones back in there to try and clean it up a little bit more. See how much area we're actually working with.
Is that a little fence line back there? The fence line?
Yeah, we have, yes, in the very back there,
Yeah.
used to be Jeff's. But other than that, I'm just trying to keep it as clean as I can. We're trying to keep it as clean as we can and just working on everything. The only problem I'm seeing with a lot of things is the stuff sitting on the ground that people are putting in front of headstones. They're hard to get around when you're mowing. They're, you know, and weed eating and stuff like that. But I've told guys and myself, take them out of the ground, set them on top of the headstone, mow around it or weed around it and flip them back. That's the only problem I really have, because when I mow, it's hard for me to get on and off my lawnmower a whole bunch, but I do it anyway. But other than that, I'm doing the best I can to keep the trees, and there is a few trees that need to be trimmed so we can get our mowers under them up there, which I'm hoping to address next week. But
Eric, we have maintenance, preventative maintenance coming up, correct?
yes, we do have maintenance coming up on both the Kubota. It needs, it's
1,000 interval land.
Yeah, 1,000 interval maintenance, which is a lot of fluids, and it's gonna need, it needs an oil change, it's a complete overhaul for its mileage and hours.
And anything else? We have to replace the rim.
Yeah, we have to replace the rim on one of the motors. I'm looking to find a cheaper route, which I've actually been on the internet looking for, to where I can get a pair for cheaper than I can buy just a single. And I'm checking to see how quick I can get my hands on that, so we don't have that mower down come next week cut down.
And there's a little bit of both errors on that one. We got semi ruts plus a little bit too fast. So we're gonna put poles over there, right? T-post over there, because they're swinging in our grass to get in there. So they can swing into a T-post because it's causing so many ruts. These guys are trying to mow and these semi drivers just pulling and doing whatever they want. I mean, it's a courtesy to park there. It's not right. That's our property. It's not theirs. So, I mean, but it's causing damage where this ring can't be fixed. I can't even need it. It's done. I mean, so, yeah.
And that's over there on that lot,
Right on the edge of that, because they're swinging hard right into there in the grass instead of just turning, slowing down, turning, they're just going off the road. And I just went through there with a tractor and it was rough on me when I push off it.
And that's on both sides of the opening also.
So,
Where the telephone pole is in the middle, there's also ruts on the opening on this side and on this side coming in from both directions, where they're just almost cutting straight in, just going through the grass, coming over. It's slowly getting rutted out right there.
So where are we gonna get these T-posts?
we have already have them down.
We have down here.
Yeah. Is it the one with two columns? Okay. And we'll put something on that's reflective. And, you know, so. All right, anything else you got?
Well, I mean, everything is pretty much up to code right now, so except for the one mower and everything coming up on all the vehicles and stuff, is pretty much up to date.
Okay. All right, citizen participation, okay? All right, is there a sponsorship and a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to close the meeting.
All right, motion to close the meeting, going to closed session. Do we have a second?
I second that motion.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.